Hello and welcome to the BEADRIBBLR YouTube channel where we provide advice, tips and tutorials for aspiring footballers. Today we have a skill tutorial from how to play like Ronaldinho series. You're going to learn how to do the Coma. Basically the Coma is an Elastico, but just the way Ronaldinho does it. So if you like this skill and you want to add it to your game, I'll show you how to do it. Hi, I'm Manny and I will be your coach for this session. Today, I'm going to show you step by step how to do the Coma the way Ronaldinho does it. And after this training session, you should be able to do it in a real game situation. Where I am from in Paris, we call the Coma this skill because it looks like a Coma basically. But I know that a lot of people call it Elastico or flip-flap. And that was one of his favorite skills that he was doing and he was famous for. So other players have done it before him, other players did it after him, like Cristiano, Ronaldinho or Neymar, but they never done it the same way he was doing it. It was always a bit different. So Ronaldinho one was kind of special, and the way he was doing it was entertaining and was so stylish as well. So today that's the one I'm going to teach you, and with no further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, if you want to learn about this skill, we need to learn how our body position should be. So for this skill, we should be standing still, not moving. Ronaldinho did it a few times while he was moving. However, when you are learning this skill, you shouldn't focus on doing it while you're moving. You should be standing still while doing it. The reason why is because the faster you're going with the ball, the harder the skill will be, because it involves two touches, an outside and an inside one. And when you're moving with it, it will be harder to actually do both touches together. So for this tutorial, we will focus solely on the standing still one or stationary. So also for the body position, you should be directly facing your opponent. You can be slightly on the sides, maybe like that, but mainly you should be directly facing your opponents. That's the way Ronaldinho used to do it. So then we have to talk about the parts of your foot that you're going to using to do the Coma. To do the Coma, first of all, you should understand that it is a two touches move. So you're doing two touches. Yes, you're doing two touches and not only one. A lot of people think it's only one touch move, it's only one motion, but the reality is it's two touches. And the part of your foot you should be touching the ball with are the outside toe of your foot and the inside toe of your foot. So to do this skill, you should start with pushing the ball 45 degrees angle on your right side if you're right footed with your outside toe of your foot. And then you should get the ball back with your inside toe of your foot to push the ball on your left side if you did it with your right foot. When it gets tricky is when Ronaldinho used to take the ball as far of his body as possible to take his second touch. You should not throw all your body to the side of the ball. You should only throw your upper body and take the ball back with your leg. I will get into it later on. So the way you should learn how to do it is you should take your time. There's few steps to actually achieve that goal. And the first step I would tell you is you should train your body to react to these exact movements. What I mean by that is you should take a step as big as possible, far from your standing foot, and still keeping your balance. That way you will know where to take your second touch from. Then you should learn how to push the ball and get the ball back. Push the ball slowly, then get the ball back. Push the ball, then get the ball back. And then with time, you should do it a bit quicker and quicker until you can do it at full speed. Then from there, you should practice again and again and again. And what you do is you're building skill memory. So your brain will pick up this skill and it will start to do it automatically. And once it does it automatically and it is instinctive, then you will be able to do it anytime, anywhere, even in real game situations. So now we'll go over some mistakes that you might do when trying to learn this skill. So the first mistake is not pushing the ball far enough. This is when you're scared actually to put all body out on your right side or your left side if you're left footer. And what this will create is that the defender will not be fooled. It might stop, but it will not go to one way. This might not be ideal for you because you might not be able to escape from him, or he might take the ball from you. The second mistake is to pushing the ball too far. When you're pushing the ball too hard and you have got no time to actually get your foot around the ball and get it back, this is when you will actually lose the ball as well. So the third one is to use the outside of the foot instead of the outside toe of the foot. And what this will create is that you will push the ball sideways rather than a 45 degrees angle. If you push it sideways, you might not be able to get away, because pushing it sideways will make it harder for you to push it back to the other side. It would be likely that you will push it forward rather than to the side, because this is what your body is naturally drawn to. So the last mistake you might make is to move your whole body with the ball. What I mean by that is, when you're doing a Coma, you should not move the whole body, only your upper body alongside your foot. If you move all your body with the ball, you will end up losing precious time to actually go the other way. And as you know, in football, losing even milliseconds might be critical. So don't move your whole body, only your upper body. So now that you know everything about the skill itself, how you should position your body, how to do it, we should talk about where to do it on the pitch. So this is important because without this, you will not do it effectively. To do the Coma, you should do it primarily on the sides in the attacking third. Not in defense, not in the middle of the pitch, but on the sides in the attacking third. This is where Ronaldinho used to do it, and this is where you should do it too. Next, we talk about the defender. And that is a big one because you can do a skill perfectly. You might know where to do it on the pitch, but do it in the right situation, at the right time. This is when you will master the skill itself. So in a game situation, you know the defender will be there. The defender will try to read you. We try to know where you want to go, what you're going to do. So as I advise you to do the skill when standing still, you should also do it when the defender is standing still with you. If the defender is moving towards you and is putting pressure on you, then you should do something else. You could do a simple body fend and go the other way, but don't do the Elastico in that situation. Same thing if you see the defender going backwards, as he recognizes somebody else going in his back or something like that, he recognizes there's other options for you available. You should not do the Coma in that situation. You should maybe cross the ball, pass the ball, or do something else. Always recognizes the right situation to do a skill. Always aim for quality, not quantity. If the defender is standing still with you, then you should think about doing it. Next thing is, where should it be positioned related to yourself? So we know that it should be standing still, but whereabouts, where it should be? It should be directly facing you. It could be slightly maybe on the right side if you are right-footed, and on the left side if you are left-footed, but it's on the slightly on the left side and you're doing the Coma with your right foot. Don't do it. Don't do it because it's not the right situation to do it. Same thing if it's too close to you. If it's too close to you, don't do it because you might lose the ball. A good rule to know if it's too close to you or not is to think in your head, can he touch the ball from his position? If he can, then it's too close. So to summarize, it should be standing still, directly facing you. If he's slightly on the right, as a right footer, it is fine. But if he's slightly on the left as a right footer, then you should quickly think about another skill to do. So don't force anything. If the situation is not right, don't do it. Ronaldinho didn't used to do it in every single game. He used to do it when the situation was right for him, then he will do it. So don't force anything, just make sure to do it at the right time. If the situation arises, don't hesitate, do it. Remember, quality over quantity, always. So next we're going to talk about all the variations you could do instead of a Coma. all the skills that are kind of similar to it. I'm not going to do a full tutorial on these skills. However, I'm going to talk about them briefly and how you can use them. So the first one we're going to talk about is the air elastico. So that one, Ronaldinho did it in a Nike advert. And to date, I've never seen anybody doing that in a real football game. However, it looks like it could be done. So you could maybe be the first one. Who knows? So the way to do it, you should lift the ball with your weak foot and then do an elastico in the air. It is an absolute unbelievable skill to do. And anybody doing that in a real game will create absolute scenes. So the next one we have is the CR7 Elastico. CR7 used this skill a lot. And the difference with the Coma from Ronaldinho is that CR7 doesn't push the ball as far to his body as Ronaldinho does. And CR7 also used the outside of his foot. So what this creates is that his first touch is sideways to his side. His second touch will be then forward, not to the other side. And what does happen most of the time is that he nutmeg a lot of his opponents because they can't anticipate that the ball will go forward after going sideways. And because they have their legs all wide open, CR7 did not make a lot of his opponents that way. If the defender is too close to you, then you could use this variation to actually nutmeg him, which CR7 did a lot of times. So the last variation we're going to talk about is the R9 variation. R9 was an unbelievable player and he did a lot of different skills, but he used to do the elastico as well. He had his own way to do it. The way he used to do it was basically doing it while moving. He did it a few times the way Ronnie does it, but there's a lot of time he did it when he was moving. And when he was moving, he was actually throwing all his body to one side and then going the other way. So what does this create is that the defender to be fooled, because when you're doing it while you're moving, they will literally stop or go the other way. But as I said before, if you're moving all your body, you will take more time to actually go the other side. And because Ronaldo was very fast, he could get to the ball. A good thing to remember if you want to do this variation is that you should have a decent acceleration to actually get back the ball and accelerate away. This skill is also very useful to do if the defender is too far from you and you need to drive the ball to get to him. It is actually very, very effective. To summarize, the Coma should be done while standing still, facing a defender. You should take the ball with the outside toe of your foot and then take the second touch as far as your body as possible with the inside toe of your foot. You should be doing this skill in the attacking third of the pitch, on the sides, and the defender should be facing you and standing still as well. As again, you might not be able to do it straight away, but don't be discouraged. With practice, with time and time, you will be able to do it. As with every skill, the most important thing is repetition. By doing it again and again and again, you will be able to do it. So now you have it, a full tutorial, step by step, how to do the Coma like Ronaldinho used to do it. Now you have no excuse to not do it in your next game or when playing with your friends or anywhere really, and then celebrate like Ronaldinho did.